max money from the Lakers if the Lakers are able to land a free agent. Now, when we heard this report a few days ago, we thought Klay Thompson was one of the free agents that he was referring to.
Well, he was.
Klay Thompson signed. Yeah, he wants to play with Harden, you think?
Well, I mean,
that was the report. And the third one, I'm forgetting who the third would be.
Jonas Valanciunas. They're all
No, someone else said Valanciunas, but there was another one. But it was definitely Harden, Klay, and DeRozan, I think, is also on the list. But go ahead.
So are you surprised LeBron is open to taking a discount on his contract?
Well, there's no max player right now that's taking discounts. So I think it's whenever a player who is still able to get a max takes a discount, it's surprising.
Yes.
Because it is rare. The reason we remember Dirk and Duncan doing it is because it was rare, but those guys, to be honest, Dirk in particular, was not a max player anymore. You know, he was a legend within a franchise, but he was not coming off an All-NBA season the way LeBron is. And I understand people, the snap reflexive argument of, he's made enough money. Well, Paul George now is on the books for $512 million in his career.
Wow, that's nice.
The most in NBA history. He didn't take less. He hasn't won. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, and again, I don't expect anyone, that is not a shot. I don't expect anyone to take less. Like the owners don't take less, and the player can. So, yes, I am a little surprised whenever someone says, give me less money for the greater good. I would be shocked if he does it for a player below Jonas Valanciunas level, if you will. Meaning, they have just missed out on Klay. I wouldn't have liked the Harden thing at all, but Harden re-signed with the Clippers. We knew Harden was going to try to recoup some of the money he lost. Mm-hmm. If they don't get DeRozan, and they don't execute some sign-in trade, then I would, Markkanen, I think, would be exceptional for them. That's the number one target I had for them in the beginning of the offseason. I think it's on the board. LeBron's like, all right, well, then in that case, give me the money.
Yeah, I agree.
And by the way, I think he'll be criticized for that, but who cares?
You think he'll be criticized for taking the max?
Yeah, I think people will say it was never real. I think people will say he was never real. And
the offer.
Those would just be haters. Because it's not difficult to say just what you said. Well, he was willing to give up some money for so-and-so, for Klay, for James Harden, for Valanciunas, for DeMar DeRozan, for whoever, and they didn't get those guys. So now he's taking the max. I am not surprised. LeBron, the first year he went to Miami from Cleveland, was willing to take less than the max. Now, they worked out a sign and trade where he could take the max, but he was willing to go there without getting the max contract. And I think LeBron's number one priority right now is to win a championship in L.A. Now, not just to win a championship, meaning I'm going somewhere and chasing a ring, but he wants to stay in L.A., and I believe he wants to win a championship. So I'm not surprised. I think it's smart that, if we can get another great player, then I will take a little less money, all right? I'm not surprised by it. I think it's smart. And I also think, Nick, like you said, if they can't get one of those guys, a DeMar DeRozan, whoever, Zach LaVine, it'd be a trade, I guess. I mean, I don't know how it would work, but if they don't get a star player, then he shouldn't take less.
Okay, logistically, and Simmons brought this up on the podcast.
That Wilds is on.
That I was on
check it out
last night. It was a great podcast.
It was very good. I've listened to it.
Thank you for listening. Listen to your podcast and listen to Odd Couple, and then you can listen to Bill's in that order.
There you go.
And then listen to our podcast. So you have a full night. You have a full night, to be honest with you.
But go ahead.
But Bill was asking, how does this logistically work, do you think? He's like, all right, I'm LeBron. I'm willing to take less money for Klay and DeMar DeRozan and Valanciunas. And if you're Rob Pelinka, like, how about player X? I'm like, no.
Yeah, so DeAnthony Melton,
an odd mix,
just signed with the Warriors for, I think, the mid-level. It was during the show I saw it. It's another story that Wild's like, well, we should be talking about this. I'm like, I don't know.
Player.
So I think that there is a clear threshold of, give me the money. And I think, like, DeAnthony Melton wouldn't reach it.
Yeah.
And again, this is just pure, I have not talked to Rich, I obviously not talked to LeBron, this is pure speculation. But in a world where when we're talking about LeBron taking less, if we are really being specific about it, we're saying LeBron is going to sign up for Isaiah Quickly money. which is $35 million a year in today's NBA. That's what Isaiah Quickly just signed up for. Scotty Barnes makes $45 million a year in today's NBA. God bless him. You know what I mean? That's today's NBA. The point I'm making is I think that this is a real give back to the team. He would be on, they're talking about a one-year deal of around $35 million. No. It would instantly become one of the best value contracts in the league.
But we saw Tom Brady take less money. Patrick Mahomes is not getting as much as he could get, so I don't think it's a huge deal.
But in the NBA, it's rare. It is rare.
But it's still, he's make as much money as you can. But he's already made a ton of money. It's not like I have been in situations where if I'm happy in a situation, I've taken less money where I could have went somewhere else and got more. If LeBron is happy, I'm fine with it. I don't know why LeBron James, $8 million a year is making a real difference in his life.
Go ahead.
I think the max is not enough for LeBron.
Well, but there's rules. We get it.
No, I know, but he's worth more to the league and to the Lakers than he currently is allowed to be compensated for. So the idea that he's already taken a discount, that's my take. The max is a discount if you're LeBron James. I'm LeBron James. You can't pay me as much as I'm actually worth to your franchise and the league. I'll be kind and take $51.5 million because that's the maximum amount I'm allowed to get under the CBA. But everybody knows I deserve to be compensated more.
And we have to move on, but that's also one of the reasons why you get these tricky things with teams such as draft Bronny. Or with Giannis, with having your brother on the team.
Yes.
When you artificially suppress what a player can make, the guys who actually deserve more than that, you have to give them other stuff. Like that, that's one of the reasons that the star players, a lot of teams can decide if they're practicing or not. They get perks, star NFL players don't, because they are making their worth in the marketplace. But when you put an artificial cap on it, those things happen.
That's why I take, a few days off last week.
Well, there's an artificial cap on what you can make?
I don't want to get into it. Lakers currently have the 9th best title odds. They've been linked to DeMar DeRozan.
I'm sure that'll work out. I'm sure they'll get him. They'll land that plane.
But
did his dad play for the team?
That has nothing to do with
it. It should help a little.
Are you talking about Bronny or Clay?
No, Clay.
Okay.
I'm saying it should help a little. Yes. He's a broadcaster for him.
What does the broadcaster have to do with the front office?
If we found out today, Steph were leaving the Warriors, and I was like, guess where he's going. Is one of the teams you mentioned, would it be the Hornets?
Yes.
Why? What's his
connection?
Because
he's from there.
Okay, where's Clay from?
I think more so he's from
Okay, where's Clay from?
California.
Okay, exactly, not Dallas. And his dad
but
played
I don't
there,
think he'd go to Charlotte. I don't think that'd be the team.
I understand, but
they get a meeting like the Lakers got.
Okay, yeah.
A courtesy meeting.
Any moves at all the Lakers can make to make them contenders.
All right, break out your tears, Brew.
Yeah,
Here we go.
No,
waiting for it all day.
That's it. You had a graphic. You promised.
I got a graphic. I think are we revealing it gradually?
Brew doesn't even know.
Okay, here we go. Now the 4th row. All right, the Jazz.
You're doing my tears.
I said. Wait. It's been called tiers all show. What were you expecting?
I think you were
So the 4th tier are the Jazz and the Blazers. Terrible, two terrible teams. Portland, I don't know what they're doing.
Is this just Western Conference?
Nick's guy, Scoot, didn't pan out. Now he rips me because my guy is panning out. Wimby.
You haven't set up
what
this
is.
These are the tiers of the Western Conference. All right?
But he didn't name them.
The 3rd tier.
Pathetic.
These guys.
Well, I don't even know
they're
what that logo
fighting
What is
to
that?
get in the
That's
playoffs.
the Clippers.
I
That's
don't know
the
what-
Clippers'
I don't
new
know
logo.
what that thing is.
That's the Clippers'
Is that the
new
Clippers?
logo. Yeah.
It
That
looks
is
like
the
some
Clippers'
type
new
of
logo.
insect in the middle
Yeah,
there.
no,
But wait.
I think
All right,
the
you got the Clippers, the Spurs, and the Rockets. So look, the Spurs, they ended the season 11-12 or 7-4, whichever however you want to do it. They beat Denver. They beat some other good teams, so they might make a run.
Clippers better
and then
than the
these
Spurs and Rockets, bro?
They don't go left.
I don't. Yeah, it's not left.
Oh, it
to right.
doesn't go left.
Here's
to
the
right.
the second tier, and I cut it off. I was gonna put the Spurs in that here, but here's the second tier. These teams are all likely to make the postseason, but they're gonna battle. And I think the Spurs will battle with the Warriors, and the Clippers might battle too. And then here's the top tier. All right, there it is. The Mavericks, the Nuggets, the Thunder,
What is this?
and the
The answer to the
Timberwolves.
question.
There is nothing the Lakers can do
To move up a tier.
to move up to the top tier. I just went the long way to tell you that. There's nothing they can do. They're squarely in the second tier.
How did this graphic-
We haven't had tiers this good in months.
How did this come to fruition?
No one.
It's a question,
What?
and you're like, I want to make tiers in this. If
I
you want to
think
name
they're
them,
a
and you said no.
second tier team in the West.
He did name them. Tier 1, Tier 2,
Right.
Tier 3,
I don't have
Tier
to give the names.
Second tier
That's Nick's
has
thing.
5 teams.
The
in it.
names are Nick's thing.
6 teams.
6. Okay.
Because those are if you notice, Wiles, there's 10 teams in the top 2 tiers. That would be the postseason.
Yeah, we get it. No.
Well, you get it. I don't think Wiles got
No,
it.
I do think Wilds gets it. I just think he's offended on a creative level.
and those tier 3 teams are going to be battling.
So
tier
to be clear, the top 4 is the top 4 it was
only 2
last year.
teams out of it
The-
are the bottom.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Sorry. Jazz and
So here's the thing. As presently constituted, the Lakers obviously are not contenders. I do think that I know we've talked to DeRozan. If the Jazz truly are willing to trade Lauri Markkanen, I'd rather have him than Clay, who's obviously off the board, than, as far as fit and far as what they need,
three,
shooting, size, all of it. It is very difficult for me to just cross out the way, to bring up for the third time on the show, Bill Simmons has with the Lakers. Any team, if LeBron is healthy and has Anthony Davis, it's going to be hard for me to just eliminate them in full. But as presently constituted, they're as close to eliminated as can be. If they were to make a significant move, then I do think they could be in that
tier 1.
In that tier 1, but the point of
Like
tier 1 is
even if
they moved up to tier 1, there would be 5 teams in it.
Right.
By definition, one of those 5 doesn't get out of round 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's also why the tiers need to be a little more,
I thought it was a good
Those tiers were great.
Were they?
Best we've had in months.
Were they?
We haven't
That's
done
the
them
word
in a
I'm
while.
getting.
Well, we're
From the
doing, believe it or
control
not,
room.
we're
That's
doing a post-free agency tier.
When's that coming
On
up?
Wednesday in its normal spot
Wow.
at 4 o'clock, and it will.
I didn't name these because I didn't want
because
to
you didn't. Yeah, I
usurp.
thought you were an
I thought it was
English
great.
major.
Yeah, I didn't want to
I thought it was good.
take away from
All
the
right,
kids
we're doing
on
Chris
Wednesday.
Paul.
You thought it was good?
I'm just trying to be supportive. Chris Paul and Wemby next.
We wanted this to happen last year. Wemby